Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple question. What if I told you that the next 90 days could change your entire life? Not in theory, not in dreams, but in action, in results, and in reality. The secret isn't in doing something huge once, it's in doing something small every day with discipline and purpose. For the next 90 days, I challenge you to do one thing. Commit. Commit to your growth. Commit to your goals. Commit to yourself. Because the truth is, your future is shaped by your daily habits, not your once-in-a-while efforts. So what should you do daily for the next 90 days? Here's the answer. Focus on 6 non-negotiable actions that will reshape your mindset, build momentum, and create discipline. But let's start with just one. Show up every single day. Show up to your dreams. Show up when it's hard. Show up when you're tired. Even when no one else believes in you, you show up. Here's what I want you to do every day for the next 90 days. Just showing up every day is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your life. It may sound simple, but it's exactly where most people fall short. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the right mood, the right motivation, or the right moment. But the truth is, if you wait to feel ready, you may wait forever. Life doesn't reward perfection. It rewards consistency. When you show up daily, regardless of how you feel, you begin to train yourself to be someone who follows through. That alone sets you apart from 90% of people. Most people start strong. They're fired up on day 1, maybe even day 2. But when it gets hard, when life distracts them, when the excitement fades, they stop showing up. They fall into the trap of "I'll start again tomorrow," or "I'll get back on track next week." That mindset is what kills dreams slowly and quietly. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. And the only way to build discipline is through repetition, by showing up again and again, even when it's uncomfortable. There are days when everything inside you will want to quit. You'll feel tired, you'll be overwhelmed, you'll be discouraged. And those are the exact moments when you must rise, because it's easy to show up when you're inspired, but it's transformational to show up when you're not. Every day that you show up, regardless of your feelings, you build something that no one can take from you, inner strength. The key to growth is not in massive changes. It's not in huge, once-in-a-lifetime events. It's in the small, consistent actions you repeat daily. It's the tiny wins you stack on top of each other, until one day you look back and realize just how far you've come. If you want to see real change in your life, physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, you must commit to daily action. And that action starts by simply showing up. Think of the gym. The people who see results are not always the strongest, the fastest, or the most naturally gifted. They're the ones who show up day after day. They don't skip the basics. They don't stop when it's boring. They keep going. And over time, their results become impossible to ignore. The same applies to every area of your life. Whether you're writing a book, building a business, healing from something, learning a new skill, your success lies in your ability to consistently show up for the process. It won't always feel rewarding in the moment. There will be times when you wonder if it's working. You'll question whether all this effort is worth it. That's normal. Progress often hides in the background until one day it reveals itself. That's why most people quit, because they don't see instant results. But if you can be the person who shows up with patience and faith, you'll win. Not because you were better than anyone else, but because you stayed in the game long enough to get what others gave up on. When you show up daily, you're not just working on your goals. You're building identity. You're proving to yourself that you're not someone who gives up. You're not someone who breaks promises to yourself. You are someone who keeps showing up no matter what, and that kind of self-trust is priceless. It leaks into every area of your life. Relationships, confidence, focus, career, everything improves when you become a person who follows through. So don't wait for the mood, don't wait for motivation, don't wait until life is easy. Just show up. Show up tired, show up confused, show up imperfect, but show up, because every day you do, you are taking one more step toward the life you deserve. You're separating yourself from the old version of you, the one who gave up too soon, the one who hesitated, the one who doubted, and you're stepping into a stronger, more disciplined, and more committed version of yourself. Do it even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That's when it matters most. Show up for your dreams. Show up for your growth. Show up for your future. Not once in a while, but every single day. Because consistency will take you places motivation never could. Every successful day starts with a choice to be intentional. Too many people wake up and immediately fall into reaction mode. The alarm goes off, and before they've even taken their first breath of the day, they're on their phone scrolling through messages, emails, or social media. The mind becomes cluttered before the day has even begun. And what follows is a life lived by default, not by design. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can choose a different path. You can start each day with intention. Taking just 5 to 10 minutes every morning to get centered can completely transform the way your day unfolds. This isn't about some long, complicated routine. It's simply about becoming conscious, choosing who you want to be and how you want to live before the day takes over. When you start with intention, you take back control. You don't leave your focus, energy, or mood up to chance. You design your day the way an artist paints a canvas, deliberately, thoughtfully, and with purpose. It begins with a pause. Before reaching for your phone or diving into tasks, take a few deep breaths. Sit in silence. Reflect on where you are and where you're going. Ask yourself powerful questions like, what do I need most today? How do I want to show up in the world? What would make today a win for me? These moments of stillness are not a waste of time. They are a reclaiming of time. They allow your mind and spirit to align before the world makes its demands. Setting intention is not just about achieving goals. It's about showing up as your best self. It's choosing to respond instead of react. It's choosing focus over distraction, clarity over chaos. When you start your day with this kind of awareness, your priorities become clear. You don't drift aimlessly. You move with direction. You stop being pulled by every little distraction, and instead you begin to lead yourself. And think about how powerful this really is. If every day for 90 days you took a few moments to remind yourself of your values, your goals, and your purpose, how much more aligned would your actions be? How much less time would you waste on things that don't matter? How much more fulfilled would you feel at the end of each day, knowing that you were living in alignment with what truly matters to you? When you begin with intention, you give your day structure. You choose your energy. If you decide in the morning that you're going to be kind, focused, resilient, or productive, you've already taken the first step to embodying that energy. It's not magic, it's mindset. The moment you decide who you want to be, you begin to shift toward that identity. And the more you practice it daily, the more natural it becomes. Another key part of intention is setting micro goals for the day. Don't try to conquer the world all at once. Just decide on 1 or 2 meaningful actions that would move you forward. Write them down, visualize yourself doing them. The small act of planning helps your mind filter out the noise and stay focused on what truly matters. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. Intention also creates peace. When you're intentional, you're less likely to be overwhelmed. You know what you're doing and why. You become more patient, more thoughtful, and more present. Instead of being caught in constant reaction, you're anchored in clarity. Even when the unexpected happens, and it will, you're more resilient because you've already grounded yourself mentally. People who live with intention don't live perfect lives, but they live meaningful ones. They're not perfect planners, but they are consistent decision makers. They fall off track sometimes, but they get back up faster. Why? Because they have a strong why that they return to each morning. And that why keeps them moving forward when motivation fades. So tomorrow morning, don't rush. Don't grab your phone. Don't let the world hijack your attention. Instead, take a few minutes for yourself. Sit with your thoughts. Ask yourself what matters most today. Breathe deeply. Set an intention. Speak it out loud if you need to. Write it down if it helps, but make it real. Because when you start with intention, you live on purpose. And when you live on purpose, everything changes. The way you work, the way you speak, the way you treat others, even the way you treat yourself. All of it becomes more powerful, more meaningful, more effective. And so do this daily. Make it a ritual. Let it ground you. Let it guide you. Let it be the spark that sets the tone for the rest of your day. Because starting your day with intention isn't just a morning habit, it's a life-changing mindset. Movement is not just about fitness, it's about energy, emotion, and momentum. When you move your body, you awaken something inside yourself that goes far beyond the physical. You activate focus. You generate clarity. You shift your emotional state. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do each day is to commit to moving your body in some way. Not for how it makes you look, but for how it makes you feel. For the next 90 days, make this a non-negotiable. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't even need a specific workout program. What you need is consistency. You need a promise to yourself that no matter how busy, tired, or distracted life gets, you will take time every day to move. Whether it's 10 minutes of stretching, a 20-minute walk, a run, yoga, body weight exercises, dancing, or even cleaning your space with purpose, it all counts. The point isn't perfection, the point is action. Movement changes your state of mind. Think about the last time you felt stuck, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. What happened when you finally got up and moved around? Your energy shifted. Your thoughts became clearer. Your stress levels dropped. That's not a coincidence. Physical movement literally affects your brain chemistry. It boosts endorphins and dopamine, lowers cortisol, and increases blood flow to the brain. It's nature's most powerful and accessible antidepressant, and it's free. When you move your body every day, you're telling your mind, I'm in charge. You're creating momentum that carries into other parts of your life. You're much more likely to make better decisions, stay productive, and push through challenges after you've activated your body. Why? Because action begets more action. It's hard to stay lazy when your blood is pumping and your body is awake. It's hard to feel defeated when you've already conquered the hardest part, getting started. And here's something people often overlook. Movement builds self-respect. Every time you move, even when you don't feel like it, you're reinforcing to yourself that you matter, that your health matters, that your energy and your well-being are worth investing in. Over time, this transforms your self-image. You stop seeing movement as punishment and start seeing it as an act of self-care, self-love, and personal power. Now let's be honest, some days it will feel like the last thing you want to do. You'll be tired, emotionally drained, or overwhelmed with responsibilities. Those are the most important days to move. Not because it's easy, but because those are the moments that shape you. Those are the days that test your discipline and build your character. When you show up for yourself on those tough days, something changes inside you. You grow stronger, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You may not see visible results in the first week or even the first month, but don't let that discourage you. Movement is a long game. It's about building resilience. It's about creating habits that serve you for a lifetime. The person who sticks with it, who moves their body every day no matter what, that person is building something far more valuable than a good physique. They're building grit, determination, and an unshakable foundation for the rest of their life. And let's not forget, movement boosts confidence. Not just because you feel better, but because you prove to yourself every day that you can follow through, that you are not a slave to your excuses, that your goals matter enough to act on. Confidence doesn't come from standing still. It comes from movement, from taking action in the direction of your potential. So for the next 90 days, make this simple commitment. Move your body every single day, no matter how small, no matter how imperfect. Just move. Do it in the morning to jumpstart your focus. Do it at lunch to shake off the stress. Do it in the evening to clear your mind. But do it because every time you move, you are reminding yourself that you're alive, capable, and committed to becoming your best self. Movement is medicine. It's transformation. It's momentum. And it all starts with one step, then another, and another. So get up, get moving, and watch your entire life begin to shift one day, one decision, one motion at a time. Every dream, no matter how big or small, is built through action. Not once in a while action, not occasional bursts of effort, but consistent, focused daily action. That's why one of the most important decisions you can make over the next 90 days is to choose one meaningful goal and commit to working on it every single day. Not in theory, not just in your mind, but in practice with action steps, however small, taken daily. This is how momentum is built. This is how transformation begins. The problem many people face isn't that they don't have goals. It's that they have too many goals, or none of them are clearly defined. They're overwhelmed with ideas, ambitions, and dreams, but they lack focus. So the first step is clarity. What's the one goal that truly matters to you right now? It could be your health, your career, your finances, your relationships, or your personal growth. Whatever it is, make it specific. Don't just say, I want to get healthier. Say, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to run a 5K. Don't just say, I want to make more money. Say, I want to save $1,000, or I want to launch a freelance business. Once you've chosen your goal, break it down. What does progress look like each day? What are the small, measurable actions that will move you closer? If your goal is to write a book, maybe that's writing 300 words a day. If your goal is to improve your fitness, maybe it's 20 minutes of exercise. If your goal is to grow your business, maybe it's reaching out to one new client or learning a new skill every day. These actions don't have to be dramatic, but they must be consistent. Small steps taken daily compound into massive results. Most people fail not because they don't work hard, but because they quit too soon. They lose patience. They stop showing up because they're not seeing instant results. But results are not instant. They're earned. And the most successful people understand this. They commit to the process. They know that if they just keep stacking small wins day after day, the outcome is inevitable. That's what makes daily action so powerful. It keeps your goal alive. It keeps the momentum going. It keeps you in motion. And once you're in motion, it's much easier to stay in motion. Every day you act. Even in a small way, you're telling yourself, this matters to me. I am committed. I follow through. That kind of mindset is unstoppable. Now you'll face distractions. Life will get busy. You'll be tempted to put your goal on the back burner. But remember this, time will pass anyway. 90 days will go by, whether you take action or not. The question is, what will you have to show for it? If you commit to just one goal and take one step each day, that adds up to 90 steps. And 90 steps can move you further than most people ever go. Another powerful part of daily action is that it teaches you how to adapt. You learn what works and what doesn't. You gather experience, you refine your methods, you grow in confidence. Every day becomes a learning opportunity. Even your failures and mistakes become stepping stones. Because you're still in motion, you're still showing up. And every day you show up, you're separating yourself from the old version of you, the one who used to quit, procrastinate, or doubt. Tracking your daily actions can also be a game changer. Keep a journal. Use a habit tracker. Cross off each day you take a step forward. This not only builds accountability, but it also gives you visual proof of your progress. And when you see that chain of effort growing, day after day, you'll be motivated to keep it going. So don't worry about the finish line right now. Focus on today's step. Focus on being just 1% better than you were yesterday. Focus on doing what needs to be done, not what feels easy. Because results don't come from intensity, they come from consistency. And if you're willing to take daily action toward one meaningful goal, your progress over the next 90 days will speak for itself. Decide, commit, act. Every single day. Let that be your formula. Because in the end, it's not the goal itself that changes your life. It's the person you become while pursuing it. And that transformation begins with a single, simple decision to act today, then tomorrow, then the next day. Until one day you look back and realize you did it. You changed your life one step at a time. Reflection is one of the most overlooked but powerful tools for growth. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, rushing from one task to the next, checking boxes, chasing goals, without ever stopping to ask ourselves, how did I really do today? That's why taking just a few moments at the end of each day to reflect can be a game changer, especially over the course of 90 days. It's a simple practice that sharpens your awareness, strengthens your discipline, and helps you make the invisible visible. When you reflect, you're giving yourself a chance to evaluate. Not judge, but evaluate. You're pausing to look back at your actions, your choices, your mindset. You're asking the kind of questions that lead to insight. Did I act in alignment with my goals today? Did I keep the promises I made to myself? Where did I win? Where did I fall short? And what can I do differently tomorrow? This process creates something powerful, self-accountability. Most people go through life without ever really checking in with themselves. They measure progress only by external results, and when those don't appear fast enough, they feel frustrated or discouraged. But progress is happening long before results show up. It's happening in your mindset, in your habits, in the decisions you make every day, and reflection is what allows you to see that. You might not have hit your goal today, but maybe you got closer. Maybe you resisted a distraction that would have derailed you before. Maybe you were more patient, more focused, more disciplined than yesterday. That matters, and when you take time to notice those little wins, you fuel your own motivation. You stop relying on outside validation because you begin to see your own growth clearly. Another benefit of daily reflection is clarity. When you reflect, patterns begin to emerge. You start to notice what consistently works for you and what doesn't. You begin to identify the habits that lead to success and the ones that sabotage your progress. Maybe you realize that every time you skip your morning routine, the rest of the day feels chaotic. Maybe you see that when you get proper sleep, your productivity triples. These insights are priceless, and they're only accessible when you take the time to reflect. But reflection isn't just about improvement, it's also about presence. It's a reminder to slow down and actually feel your day. How often do we move so fast that we don't even remember what we did? We rush, we hustle, and we forget to live. But when you sit down at night and revisit your day, you reconnect with yourself. You begin to appreciate your effort, your resilience, your humanity. And here's where gratitude comes in. As part of your reflection, list 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be huge. Maybe it's a good conversation, a peaceful moment, or a small task you completed. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It grounds you. It reminds you that even on hard days, there's something to appreciate. When paired with reflection, gratitude becomes even more powerful. It trains your mind to look for the good, even in the middle of the struggle. This practice doesn't have to take long. 5 to 10 minutes each night is enough. Grab a journal or a notebook. Ask yourself a few simple questions. What went well today? What didn't? What did I learn about myself? What am I grateful for? And what is one small thing I will do better tomorrow? That last question is critical because it turns your reflection into action. It closes the loop. It ensures that you're not just thinking but evolving. Over the course of 90 days, this nightly ritual becomes a mirror, a record, a reminder. It keeps you grounded in your journey. It helps you track your transformation, not just in results, but in who you are becoming. And more than anything, it helps you stay connected to your own process. You stop blindly chasing progress, and instead, you understand it. You see how far you've come. You learn to trust the process, even when it's hard. So don't underestimate the power of a quiet moment with yourself. Don't dismiss the value of looking inward, because the truth is, growth isn't just about what you do, it's about what you see when you pause and look at who you're becoming. Make reflection your nightly reset. Let it humble you, let it inspire you, let it guide you forward one thoughtful step at a time. Gratitude is one of the most transformative habits you can cultivate in your life. It may seem simple, even too simple to make a difference, but don't let its simplicity fool you. Practicing gratitude daily changes your perspective, rewires your thinking, and brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that no material success ever could. For the next 90 days, take a few moments each day to focus on what you're grateful for. Not just when life is going well, but especially when it's not. That's when gratitude has the power to shift everything. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need more money, more success, more recognition. We are trained to focus on what's missing rather than what's present. That mindset creates restlessness and dissatisfaction. No matter how much we achieve, it never feels like enough. But gratitude is the antidote. And when you practice it intentionally, you stop chasing happiness and start experiencing it. You begin to realize that abundance isn't about having everything. It's about recognizing the value in what you already have. Gratitude grounds you. It brings your attention back to the present moment. When you pause to appreciate even the smallest things, a warm cup of coffee, a kind word, a quiet moment of peace, you begin to experience life more deeply. You stop rushing through your days. You start feeling them. And in that presence, stress fades, anxiety weakens, and joy emerges. But this isn't just about emotion, it's about transformation. Gratitude changes your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you have, you stop obsessing over what you lack. You become more solution-oriented, more optimistic, and more resilient. You stop complaining as much. You become a person who looks for what's right rather than what's wrong. That shift alone can change your relationships, your energy, your creativity, and even your success. And one of the most powerful ways to practice gratitude is by writing down 3 things every day that you're thankful for. They can be big or small. It might be the support of a friend, a good meal, your health, or simply the fact that you made it through a tough day. Don't just write them mechanically, feel them, pause for a moment, and truly appreciate each one. Let it sink in, let it change your emotional state. This process only takes a few minutes, but its effects ripple throughout your entire day. Gratitude also helps you become more compassionate, not only with others, but with yourself. When you're grateful, you stop being so hard on yourself. You stop focusing on your flaws and failures, and instead you begin to recognize your growth, your effort, and your strengths. You start to celebrate the journey, not just the destination, and that gives you the emotional fuel to keep going, even on the hard days. Over the course of 90 days, This habit becomes more than a list. It becomes a lens. You'll start noticing more things to be grateful for without even trying. You'll walk through your day more aware, more alive. Challenges won't disappear, but you'll face them with a different energy. You'll find lessons where others see setbacks. You'll find strength where others find struggle. That's the power of gratitude. It doesn't change your circumstances, but it does change how you experience them. You might be wondering how this connects to success, discipline, or growth. The answer is deeply. People who practice gratitude regularly tend to be more focused, more motivated, and more consistent. Why? Because they are not driven by desperation. They are driven by appreciation. They are not overwhelmed by what they don't have. They are empowered by what they do. And when you approach your goals from a place of abundance instead of lack, you're far more likely to achieve them without burning out. So make gratitude your daily ritual. It doesn't need to be complicated. Keep a gratitude journal. Speak it out loud to yourself. Share it with someone you care about. Whisper it before you go to sleep. Just make it real. Make it sincere. And make it consistent. Like this, gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's a powerful force. It heals, it strengthens, it motivates, and over time, it changes who you are. So for the next 90 days, commit to this one simple but life-altering habit. Practice gratitude every single day. And watch how your perspective, your mindset, and your entire life begin to shift quietly, steadily, beautifully.